Obon is a time of year when Buddhists, along with the greater community of Hawaii, come together to celebrate the past, present, and future. A shared camaraderie takes place through dance, music, and food. For 130 years, the Honpa Hongwanji mission of Hawaii has been a part of the overall fabric of our island home. In the beginning, it brought spiritual refuge for Japanese immigrant plantation workers. As they tilled the soil, they also planted seeds of hope and dreams for a better way of life. The three treasures, Buddha, the teacher, Dharma, the teachings, and Sangha, the community, provided these plantation workers with much-needed solace. The spiritual consolation gave them the opportunity to build strength and fortitude so that future generations could prosper. Buddhist teachings of compassion, gratitude, interdependence, impermanence, and living in the now were important touchstones during those early days, and they still hold true today. So what does it mean to be a Buddhist?
One answer, I think, for me would be to live in awareness. And it could be awareness of so many things, though. But to be in touch with, like, yourself, to be in touch with the environment around you, whether it's human or natural, and all the interactions that are taking place, and again, I'm a limited, imperfect being, but to be able to at least try, I think, to live in a way that would be positive and beneficial for both oneself and others simultaneously, I think, is what I would call living a Buddhist life.
It is through this awareness that we gain a greater sense of interdependence.
Buddhism to me means the whole teaching of interdependence and going through life doing what you can to make life easier for others, and in return that makes your life easier. And I think that's something I really appreciated, because you always go through life learning about how you need to be independent. You need to do all of these things for yourself. You can't depend on anybody else. And in learning the teachings of the Buddha, it's something totally different. And, you know, you start to explore that idea of interdependence and knowing that you don't have to do everything alone. There's always going to be somebody there for you, and you're always there for others.
This interdependence is what provided Sangha, the community, to see that everything, both human and non-human, has an integral role in life.
One of the things that kind of continues to amaze me is just how the community operates in kind of sometimes unspoken ways. Like at the end of a major event, when there's a lot of chairs to put away and tables to clean up, everyone just does it without really any direction having to be given. So kind of observing that cooperation in practice always strikes me. And you see people doing selfless things all over the place. So it kind of makes you feel like doing that as well. And so I've found ways to kind of help out here and there at the temple.
That's one of the unique things I think about Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. It's very welcoming, like I said, very inclusive. Like it makes you have an open mind, I think, and that's super, super important, especially when you're growing up, to be able to see things in different perspectives. I think that's a big thing that I learned from attending church as a young child, just being able to see a lot of different views and having my eyes open to a lot of different things.
As with any community, we are made up of different individuals. Our differences make us imperfect, but that's okay. It helps us to accept the imperfect world we live in.
But that's a wonder, I think, the beauty maybe of Jodo Shinshu, right? It acknowledges that we're not perfect, that we are limited beings in that sense, and it accepts us just as we are, That's that unconditional compassion. But at the same time, though, yeah, it doesn't continually encourage us, I think, to be mindful of ourselves, and what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and what I'm doing. That's, I think, the beauty, that it doesn't force us or require us to be better, but it continually does gently encourage us to do that.
It means to be reflective and use the teachings to examine your behavior. For example, I can be critical of other people, but I find that now I'm more aware of how selfish I am sometimes, and I think that's one of the teachings in Buddhism, is that we're all selfish beings. And I think I'm becoming aware of how often what I think is right and what I think would be the way things should happen is really selfishness on my part. So I think it's making me, those opportunities to reflect are making me be more aware and hopefully more kind.
Part of living in an imperfect world means living with suffering and impermanence.
My father died when he was 49, and so it was always a tragedy that he had died so young, someone so young and vital had died in an accident. And I always thought of his death like that. And but Buddhism has, made me rethink that, and that his teachings, the things he taught me, is still very much alive. His memory is very much alive. His influence is very much alive. And so it was just a stream of life. It was a life, it was unfolding. And his life unfolded in that way. And mine is unfolding in my way. So it was not a tragedy. It was simply what life is. It's meant to be. It is as it is, and it's fine.
With this understanding of impermanence, you begin to live in the now.
Right? You're not living this present. Right? I think that's what Buddhism offers, is this opportunity to live fully in the present. Because the past already happened, right? The could have, should have, would have, right? But what is the potential now, right? And how do you want to live this moment, this life, right? Before it ends, because we don't know when it's going to end, but we know it will end.
With awareness, you become grateful.
Being Buddhist means living in accord with the Dharma. Living with appreciation for this life in all of its ups and downs, and living in gratitude for that. Right? To live in gratitude for those moments of life, not just the good aspects of life, but most importantly, the hard aspects of our lives, the difficulties, the challenges, and can we be grateful for them, right? Because that's where we learn the most about being fully human, and that's what Buddhism offers.
I became a Buddhist of Shinshu. I just say the moment that certainly you are satisfied. Wherever you are, whatever you do, say Namo Buddhas. Really thankful. Thank you. That's the main thing.
To be Buddhist, that means to me to be accepting and appreciative of everything you have in life.
Their life would be different. I really believe that is the thing that I want to tell people, is that your life would be different. It's not going to be the same. Because what happens is that you're more grateful all the time. And when you're more grateful all the time, science has proven through research that gratitude enhances one's sense of well-being and happiness. So that science, Western science, is proving that to be true. So we in Jodo Shinshu, we knew that a long time ago.
Obon is a time to show our gratitude for the past, but also to celebrate the present. It is through this mindfulness that Obon gives us guidance for the future.